The Premier League title race is really starting to heat up. Arsenal are top of the league, Manchester City in second, Liverpool in third, and 1 point separates all three teams. The closest title race we have seen in a decade. In a decade. It will go down to the wire. So many big moments this weekend. Kai Havertz, 65 million down the drain, delivers a massive goal, and Arsenal win their 8th Premier League game on the bounce, and Manchester City still a draw. Liverpool should have won. They should have had a penalty, and Michael Oliver wanted to be the star of the show yet again. Kind of reminds me of Mike Dean briefly. How was that not a penalty? Let's jump straight into it. This is the weekend recap. Make sure you like the video. If you're new to the channel, please make sure you subscribe. Liverpool won. Manchester City won. The game of two halves. The game, literally two fantastic teams, two juggernauts going at it head to head. But it was the game of two halves. Manchester City were better in the first half. Liverpool were better in the second half. Manchester City, in that second half, for me, were toothless. Gave the ball away. Foden and Haaland, you would need a sat-nav to find them that half. The press from Liverpool was absolutely relentless. Manchester City are crying out for energy, and they are missing Jack Grealish, in my opinion. Jeremy Doku is a very good player, but he's very much pace and power and can't really control a game from the wide position and doesn't really supply the same amount of energy to the likes of Erling Haaland, to the likes of De Bruyne, like Jack Grealish does. But Liverpool, in that second half, were absolutely extraordinary. The energy levels, McAllister, Szoboszlai, Darwin Núñez, Cody Gakpo when he come on. The one disappointment I had from Liverpool when he come on was Mohamed Salah. It's his fixture. 4 goals in his last 5 games against Manchester City. Mr. Liverpool, come on, I'm thinking, go for the jugular. You've got Man City, who are the best team in the world, on their back. They are struggling. They need you to flipping deliver, and you didn't. Every cross was overhit. I don't think it was anywhere near the level. Personally, I don't think he was fit. I think it was more of a go out and do what you can, try and grab a goal for us, but you're not 100% fully fit. Probably why he didn't start in the week against Prague. Come off the bench, got a goal there. Didn't start this game. But when you talk about Manchester City, Kevin De Bruyne's assist, by the way, for the goal is simply majestic. It's genius. Beautiful set piece off the training ground. Johnny Stones, England's best centre-half, makes it 1-0. But other than that goal, Haaland had a one-on-one with Van Dijk. I don't feel they were Manchester City. I think Liverpool overall probably were the better team. And that result was perfect if you're an Arsenal fan. They won 2-1. Big pressure on Arsenal. They know they have to go out and win. Kai Havertz delivers a massive goal in a tough test for Arsenal. I don't think it was an Arsenal we've seen throughout most of the season. It wasn't a fluid result. They weren't playing liquid football. Aaron Ramsdale makes an absolute howler in that game. But Arsenal do what great teams do. You don't have to be your best to get a result. They won the game. Puts pressure on Manchester City and Liverpool. Both those teams had to win that game. It come out as a draw. Means Arsenal are top of the Premier League for, well, at least a week or so, because Liverpool and Manchester City both have the FA Cup this week in massive games. Liverpool have got Manchester United away, and Man City have got Newcastle at home, I believe. Could be away, actually. I honestly believe this title race comes down to one game. Man City when they play Arsenal. That is the game that could decide this title race. Liverpool still have Europa League to play, still have FA Cup to play. Arsenal only really have Champions League. If you're a Liverpool fan, you're going to be hoping Manchester City get Arsenal in the quarterfinals, take the energy out of both teams. If you're an Arsenal fan, you're going to be thinking, Man City, I hope they get Liverpool in the next round of the FA Cup, take the energy out of both of them. But it generally could go down to the wire. Arsenal are smashing teams to bits. Manchester City and Liverpool are on something like 21 or 22 unbeaten streaks and still in 3 competitions. I haven't seen this in a while where 3 teams, as strong as they are, the table's going to keep changing left, right, and centre, up, down, like a yo-yo. And I honestly can't decide. In like 1 week, I'm thinking, do you know what? This might be Arsenal's year. The next week, I'm thinking Liverpool are just utterly brilliant. And then I'm thinking Manchester City, this is what they do. They're going to win the league. I don't know. Other games in the Premier League, Aston Villa got absolutely destroyed by my team, Tottenham. Absolutely destroyed. Matty Cash in the flipping bin, mate. In the bin. 4-0 away at Villa Park. First half in that game, didn't really have too much. It was a bit of a dull fest. I don't even think there was a shot on target. I think Digne had a header at the end of the first half. But then the brilliance from Tottenham in the second half. Johnson, Werner, Son, Maddison, Sarr, all coming together and completely tearing Aston Villa to shreds. And the title race is one topic, but the top four race, Aston Villa versus Spurs, my money is obviously on Spurs as a Spurs fan. I think Unai Emery will focus on the Conference League as he gets deeper into that competition. They've obviously got a massive game at home against Ajax on Thursday night, which I do think they will win. But they've still got to play the likes of still got to play the likes of Liverpool, still got to play the likes of City, still got to play the likes of Arsenal, still got to play Chelsea, still got to play Brighton. I don't think Villa will get top four. I do think Spurs will. Another big game this weekend, Manchester United 2, Everton 0. 2 penalties for Manchester United. Garnacho, by the way, what are you doing there? Like, yes, you got fouled, but he's sitting there rubbing his leg, and the next second he's back up on his feet. You know, I mean, call it what you want, but two penalties for Manchester United. But to concede 23 shots, only 6 on target for Everton, but Manchester United, 23 shots at your goal from a relegation candidate, Everton. Like, I wouldn't be happy if I was a Man United fan going into that. Saying that, though, Ten Hag, you know, beaten Forest, beaten Fulham, beaten Luton, beaten Villa, beaten Everton, beaten West Ham, beaten Wolves. Other than that hammering defeat against Manchester City, which, let's be honest, they're by far the better team. He's on a very good run of form, Ten Hag, and he's slowly starting to turn a corner, you know. And I genuinely think that Manchester United, you know, massive game at the weekend against Liverpool, 3:30 on Sunday. We will be covering that. That could also decide Manchester United's remainder of the season, because I don't think they're going to get top four. I think they're good enough to get into the Europa League. Haven't really got much else to play for. However, if they get knocked out of the FA Cup, massive pressure on Ten Hag. If Liverpool get knocked out as well, they can put their eyes predominantly in the Europa League and in the Premier League. If Liverpool win, it's more games to play. It's more fatigue on the players. Other big games, I want to finish on, it's not a top 6 game. You know, we've covered, obviously, Chelsea plays tonight. We'll be covering that. We've covered Spurs. We've covered Man City, Liverpool, and Arsenal. I want to talk about West Ham. I want to finish on this. West Ham 2, Burnley 2. The West Ham fan base are divided down the middle as much as you can get. David Moyes brings West Ham their first trophy in over 40 years. They're sitting 7th in the league somehow. They've only won 2 of their last 12 games. But the football they're playing, you know, the football they're playing is absolutely horrendous. Can't beat Burnley at home. David Moyes' days are numbered. I think if he loses to Freiburg on Thursday, I think there's a good chance he will get the sack. But then again, West Ham are probably going to be thinking, we've got him to the end of the season. Let's kind of see where we finish. But right now, West Ham fans are, some of them are pulling their hair out. Other fans are saying, look, let's give him time. Let's see where we end up. You know, we're 7th in the league. And then I'm kind of sitting there thinking, hang on, West Ham have won a trophy. If they win against Freiburg during the next round of the Europa League, what more do you want as a fan? I understand West Ham have gone out and spent a stupid amount of money. We all know that. They've gone and spent more than the likes of I think, City and Tottenham in the last 3 years. They've gone out and spent big money. They've sold Declan Rice. I understand that, but like, it's turmoil in that stadium. It's absolute turmoil. Their fans are fighting. You see Dave Moyes banners out. It's another interesting topic, but you got to be beating Burnley. You have to be beating Burnley. And if they don't get in they don't get in Europe, he's gone. You know, Manchester United are in the Europa League. Tottenham are further ahead with Villa fighting for the Champions League. It's a very, very interesting, you know, kind of subject. Make sure, if you haven't already, you do smash that subscribe button on the way out. Like the video on the way out. Thank you all for watching.